What's up, people? This is STBeef. Yeah, what's going on? Um, it's just me today, actually, because Brian, our co-host, is away on a business trip with his school. So I'm running the show today. It feels really weird because I've never done this kind of thing before. I'm running solo. So for today, I definitely want to just cover some FAQs, some questions from you folks, either about myself or about Korea or about just anything in general. I asked around and I got some questions from people. And so I picked some good ones. I didn't want to just, answer every question out there. There's some weird ass fucking people out there who ask weird questions. So I compiled some interesting questions, some good things that we can use. So yeah, bear with me. Oh yeah. Before we start, I would like to apologize for last week's episode. If you heard the episode, if you watched our show last week, the audio file was a little bit weird. And the sound quality was just a teeny bit off because there was a distortion when we were trying to convert the audio file. Anyway, so long story short, the audio came out a little bit weird with Soo-young and Brian, but it still worked out. So thank God for that. And yeah, we'll try to make ours better and better. And again, thank you for all our supporters out there. People who've been loving us, showing a lot of love and support. We love y'all too. Again, any suggestions, any ideas you guys might have, please shoot them our way. We are excited to hear from you, and whenever we do, it really makes our day. So, I never done this kind of thing before. It's FAQ shit, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, number one is, do you like living in Korea? Okay, again, I don't really take down names, or I'm not gonna shout out IDs or names or anything like that. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Just gonna answer some questions that were asked. So we'll see how this goes. Do I like living in Korea? And do I miss home? And we're talking about home. We're talking about Jersey, New Jersey, back home in the States. Yes, I like living in Korea, which is why I came 6.5 years ago. It's been cool. It's been real. I've been working. And Korea is very family oriented. So when my family moved over here, mainly my nuclear family, we're talking about, like my mom, my dad, my sister, and after they moved here, it's Korea has sort of like this familial obligation to be where your family is at. So, and our family is really super traditionally Korean, so we kind of need to stick together is what we think generally, but it's not always going to be the case. However, we're in the same country, so it's cool. And yes, I work here, so I like living here, and the transportation is the best because Korea is so small. Getting around is super easy, and that's one of the best things I like about Korea. It's just something is going on all the time. In this country, it's always alive, and the city never sleeps. Those are some of the things I really like. And do I miss home? Hell yeah, I miss home. My friends probably hate me because it seems like I basically abandoned everybody and just made my home here. But I miss y'all. I miss y'all a lot. The thing is, I'm really bad at hitting up people. Even though I really miss them, which sounds super retarded and stupid. But yeah, I'm really bad at hitting up people. I forget to do it all the time. And so I do miss home. I miss my friends mainly. I don't miss New Jersey that much, to be honest with you. But I do miss my friends and some of my family members who are back home. And I miss some of the food. Fuck, man, I miss Chipotle. God, I miss diners and I miss Chipotle. This feels like the longest like diet that I've ever been on in terms of just being away from American grease, like bacon, like cheesesteaks and Mexican rice and stuff. So it's been real on another level, on a different level. So yes, sir. All right, number two. When will you open your bar? The bar, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I've been trying to. It's a long due process. It's a long, very long process here that's been going on. First of all, financially, we need to be at the right place. Me and my, like the people I'm working with, and also just everybody on, that are working together on this, new project. We need to be able to be on the same page, and I feel we're not just quite there yet in terms of like mentality wise. Just we're on different pages. We still need to focus and really get what the concept of our bar is going to be like and everything. So there's just a lot of things in works right now. So I'm not sure exactly. I said to everybody that we're gonna open our bar like probably like this year, and that's hopefully the plan. Like goddamn, I'll give everything to have that. But again, it's all about patience. It's all about in due time, and in life, like everything's about timing. So hopefully pretty soon, y'all. So I'll let you know as soon as that shit opens up. Like you'll probably be the first people to know. And you'll probably get a discount if if you say, hey, I watch your show and shit, like STBeef, yeah. Where's my free tequila shot? Come on, man. Can I get some? I'll probably give you a free shot if you if you're an avid supporter of STBeef or whatever. So, because you guys are the first people to know. So, yeah, but that's in the works still. All right, so. I'll keep you updated. What do you like most about Korea? I got this question so much, and I feel like I already answered this question numerous times. But what I like most about this country is just I like the fast-paced action lifestyle. It's always moving. Everyone's always going someplace, even though it's always the same place, like work, home, whatever. But I love that shit. I love that people are always like moving about, and I love I'm not really claustrophobic. I'm the opposite. I like crowded places. It sounds really weird, but I like to be in places where there's a lot of people because it shows progress. It shows that it's always a wake up call for me. Like, dude, I gotta get somewhere. I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to be different. I want to excel. On progress and that's what I like most about Korea. I like that the city always change, like the country always changes. Like you'll have you'll know when you come, but that's what she said. But they're like pop up stores that come that are here one day. Like you have like a pawn shop on the corner, and then next month, literally in a day, it's gone. Like it's there for a month, and then in a day, it's just literally like, it's like someone threw like a C4 in there, and it just like everything's just gone. And then you have like a new restaurant or a new like cell phone store or some shit. So Korea is always evolving, changing, and that's just one of the reasons why this country has evolved so much, in such a short amount of time, which is fucking amazing because Korea is like literally the poorest country on the planet little less than 60 years ago. So from there to now, the progress, the achievements and accomplishments that this country has made is tremendous. So hey, they always say you got to be in the company of successful people and institutions, and in this case countries. I believe that I just like being in the company of I just like being in this country. It just makes me feel like there's always opportunities, always things to look for, and always going up. That's the thing I love most about Korea. What do you like least about Korea? Ooh, I don't like that Korea is still very much homogenous in their ideals, in their philosophies about life, about people, about different things. I feel like Korea is still very, um, a lot of people think very superficially, meaning everything's about what you see. It's not really about the inner person, the inner self. It's about how you are publicly portrayed in person. They call it, the face, the 얼굴, in Korean. So like, um, it's always maintaining face, maintaining your image. Like I remember I used to work with this person, and my boss was always like, "It's all about the image. It's all about the image." And what he meant by that was he was really shitty at running the company itself, but he was, relatively successful because he always said good things. Like he always said the right things, what people wanted to hear, what the customers wanted to hear. How, so. And he kind of portrayed himself to be this great owner, and so like the products were like this, like really he portrayed the products as like amazing, above all the other competition. I'm like, no, I know what's going on here, but it's not what he was describing, but it still worked. Yeah, but Korea is all about face, and I don't like that because you don't really know what's behind the mask a lot of times. You gotta like peel layer after layer after layer, and shit gets annoying sometimes. But it is what it is, and it's slowly improving with the younger generation now. And people are standing up for what they believe in. They're saying shit that in public that they would have never said like 20 years ago. So shit's getting real now. It's good. Another question for me is, do you work with public schools now? And that's funny because I got this question literally last night, and we started working with ESL Korea as the agency that I work at, and we just started working with public schools all around Korea. So we work with a governmental organization called EPIC that is the head recruiting agency for all foreign teachers in public schools in Korea. So we started working with them because they can't recruit everybody in every single public school in Korea. That's insane. So we've been working with them. Literally, we just got approved like 2 weeks ago. Went to an orientation last week. So if y'all want to go to a public school anywhere in South Korea, hit me up. Send me your resume and your application photo of yourself. Send me a beautiful picture of your mug to joe@eslkorea.kr, and I'll hit you up ASAP if you are eligible, if you're qualified. And we'll make it work out. You know what I'm saying? We'll make something happen. Yeah, how long are you in Korea for? Shit, I do not know. That's a very good question. I haven't really thought about it, but I would say 3 to 5 years would be like the minimum range time frame of how long I'll be here. Because I have a business right now, because my family's here, don't know what's happening, but for now my life is here. So we'll see. The next question was, will you continue to do STBeef, squash the beef, if you're back home? That's a fucking good question. I didn't even think about like that far ahead. So maybe, yeah. But because STBeef is like me and Brian's passion. It's one of our greatest passions right now. Doing this podcast together is so much fun, and it's like there's nothing that makes me happier than getting comments about our show. Like, dude, your podcast is awesome. It's a lot of fun. Like, it's like really good feeling, and we love what we do. It's very authentic, and that's the reason why I like it so much, because nothing's like scripted. It's just very like boom, boom, boom. We say what we want to say. We like do what we want to do. But in the States, I don't know, because mainly the show is about introducing people to Korean culture and also introducing other cultures too. So we'll see. We'll see down the road. But it's all cool. For now, just enjoy the show. Yeah. All right. Some other questions, some preguntas from other people. How to impress a Korean girl on first date? And I don't think a Korean person wrote this. So how do you impress a Korean girl on a first date? That's a very interesting question. It depends, man. Because like in Korea, I mean, obviously it's case by case, right? Every girl is different, right? But like generally, Korean girls get really impressed by certain things, that a guy does for them on a first date. I would say, um, yeah, let's say you're introduced by somebody, like I talked about previously, like sogeting, which is like blind dating, but it's not really blind dating because you're like, you get the person's picture, you get a little information about that person through another friend or someone else. Um, One of the things that would impress a person on a first date would be if you're referred by somebody, then if you're really close to that person, you would say something about that person that the girl didn't know, like, oh yeah, did you know that that dude has like, he's got like, I don't know, like he's got like cancer or some shit. I don't know, it's terrible. Like he's got like, he's got like 3 Lamborghinis. Did you know that? Like he's extremely rich. And if the girl didn't know that before, it's like, oh wow, it's like that's really cool. Um, but don't like hype the person too much. Like she might end up liking the other person. No, I'm playing. But I would say in general though, like let's say on blind dates or let's say first date, there are a couple things that really impress girls. All right, so jot this shit down, brothers. I would say that first off, if you are a foreign person, like you're not Korean, learn some fucking Korean, man. Learn like 안녕, which is hi. Like it's whatever for foreigners, right? Whatever you say, it's funny if you say it in Korean. If you say something in Korean, it's automatically like you get a couple points because like it's like this person's funny. You're automatically a comedian if you can say like a couple words in Korean. But if you start really like spitting some actual like sentences and phrases and like hard vocabulary words, then they're like, oh wow, like this person's actually like really really good, and that's like super impressive to Koreans. Obviously that's like with every culture, but yeah, I would say another thing is definitely this is something that's really important. I think many people don't know this, but there's like 소개팅, blind dating etiquettes. You never take a girl out for Korean food on the first date. All right, that's like date suicide. They even have a saying about it. It's like don't ever meet a person who takes you to a Korean restaurant on the first date because Korean restaurants are so like they're just so like everybody eats Korean food here. It's Korea. Surprise, right? So don't want to take a girl to a restaurant where it's like she already knows the food, like in from the ingredients all the way to like everything about its culture, like where it originated from, the history of the food. So you want to take a girl out for pasta. You want to take a girl out for like foreign food, Mediterranean, Thai food, Vietnamese, like anything but Korean. And also, don't take a girl out to places that require a lot of. It's like a lot of effort to eat. For example, you don't want to take a girl out to like places where you gotta cook meat and shit, or you gotta like wrap shit up in your hands and like stuff it in your mouth. It's very cumbersome. It's like it's hard, and Korean girls especially, they want to make a good impression on you, so they don't want the guy to think that they eat sloppy. So if it's like really super hard food to eat, I would say avoid those. And also, this is something else too. I would say at the end of the date, towards the end, when you're about to like get up and go somewhere else or go home, um, this is most people don't even know this, but it would impress a girl a lot actually if you actually got up towards the end of the date or the restaurant, the meal, and be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. You go, you're not going to the bathroom. Maybe if you have to go, just go. But you're actually gonna go to the counter and pay in advance. And after you pay in advance, like, you come back and sit down at the table. And then when it's time for you to go, the girl is expecting you to, pay or whatever, right? But you just walk out, like, of the door, and you're just walking out of the building like you own that shit. And she's like, oh, you already paid? You're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, like, come on, let's go. That's like, she gets really impressed by that. Like, oh, dude, what? Like, this guy already paid. He had enough, like, sense. They call it sense, which is, basically what it means is common sense. Oh, this dude has enough, like, common sense. He has enough mannerisms, and he's such a gentleman that he already paid for it, and then without, me, like, waiting there for him to pay. Because it's kind of awkward. Some people think it's awkward when you're, like, waiting in the back to, for the guy to pay for the food that you all ate. So, like, that's like a little tip, I would say. It usually works well. Girls like that. Yeah, another thing. Let's see here. Let's see. Tips on how to behave and what to say during interviews at Korean companies. I mean, this is like a little. What to say? Like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna go to interview prepared. Please prepare for an interview, right? If you're interviewing for a Korean company owned by Korean people, you definitely want to, even though you're talking in English, you don't want to brag. Like, it's different with Western culture, because Western culture, it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you why you should hire me, man. I'm gonna tell you why I'm above everybody else, why I'm above the competition, and why you should, invest in me instead of that person. In Korea, it's not as like, you're not trying to really put on a show and brag and like tell them like, yo, listen, these are my qualifications, be super confident and stuff. Like, they're looking for a little bit of like humility, be humble, but at the same time be very confident in what you have to offer. So you gotta kind of, you gotta do it right. You gotta balance that shit right. Yeah, you gotta like be very polite in a very Korean way. Like, don't speak when someone, when the interviewer is talking. Smile, be courteous, and also just be like, yeah, I have stuff to work on. Just say things like, I know that I need to improve on, certain aspects. However, be humble but be confident, and show that you're like willing to learn a lot. That's like something that is really important. So, yeah, how to behave. I mean, you don't want to. Same shit. You just want to act like courteously. Speak when you're asked a question, and kind of like do that shit. But it's like that with every culture. So I want to say it's that much different. Meeting girlfriend's parents for the first time. Wow. What should I do? Ooh, damn. Tips. I have never introduced a girl to my parents yet, because that's a really big deal. If you introduce somebody to your parents, it signifies that you are going to marry this person, really. Unless you have like a really interesting relationship with your parents, like you're really like kind of like on a friend level, where you're like, yeah, come over and like I'll introduce you to my mom. She's like, and then she goes to your house and your mom's like super fucking cool. She's like, yo, what's up, man? She's like, on the couch drinking a beer. most Korean parents are not like that. So I would say that if you're meeting your girlfriend or your boyfriend's parents for the first time, all right, couple things, right? I'm not sexist, but Korea still there's a great divide between men and women. It's still like like in terms of your obligations, right? For okay, so don't be offended when I say this, but for men, when you meet your girlfriend's parents for the first time, you never want to go empty-handed. Okay, if you're going to her house, don't go empty-handed. Don't buy like cheap shit too. Don't buy like Kleenex or something. Like, dude, what is this? Like, don't buy her like a can of soda or like like a drink or something, right? Buy them something nice. Koreans they love food. So if you buy them nice food, like in Korea, there are boxes of fruits that are super expensive. Like a box of 20 apples is like $60 here. Some brands we're talking about. So and they're super heavy. So like prepare something, something, and also like vitamins, food supplements, anything that kind of signifies that you care about them. Like, in Korea, if you're older, you wanna respect older people by really like caring for their health. Like if you give them vitamins and stuff, that's really like healthy. You don't want to hand them cigarettes, all right? You don't want to be like, hey, this is like you want to take a smoke or something. No, that's very very rude. You don't want to do that shit. You can give them wine. I mean, if they're like really big on wine, you can give wine to parents. But what I'm saying is, don't ever come empty-handed to a house. For women, it's the same thing. But for women, I would say that you should be ready to help the mom of your boyfriend cook or prepare the food or clean up after you all eat. Like, you don't have to do that, but at least offer to. And when she's like, no, when the mother's like, no, okay, it's okay, like, you don't have to. That doesn't mean, no, don't help. Like, don't help, bitch, sit down. It's not what it means. So, like, don't automatically be like, okay, like, all right, I don't want to help anyway. Just be like, oh, are you sure? Like, really care and really offer to help because, believe it or not, culturally still, Korea is in that state. Girls are kind of like, they have to be helping out with the kitchen, and guys they have to be more like business-like, and they have to talk about business and politics, and like what are your future goals and shit like that. So it's different here. It's different. Just keep those things in mind. Let's see. Why do Korean guys like to be called oppa? That's such an interesting. Yeah, I get this question sometimes from foreigners because it's like oppa literally is translated into big brother. Um, when when a Korean guy wants to be called oppa by a friend or his girlfriend that's younger than him, we're not talking about big brothers, motherfucker. We're not talking about like you don't want to be called older brother by your girlfriend. That's like incestual. That's gross, right? Here, oppa means two things, okay? It can mean literally biologically older brother, or we're talking about relatives, like your cousin. You can be like, yeah, hey, big brother. Like, that's what it means, right? But to your boyfriend or to your older guy friend, saying oppa is a sign of, like, respect. It's a sign of saying that, hey, you are older than me in age, and I respect you as a man. That's what it means, literally. So, like, just keep that in mind. It's not like a weird sexual, incestual kind of thing we're talking about here. So don't be freaked out, all right? Some guys are really, they kind of force it on girls, though, and I don't really like that either. They're like, yo, call me oppa. It's like, oh, God. Like, dude, all right, man. Like, God, I'll take it easy. I do respect you, but, I'm not going to just call you oppa because you want me to. So just the different kinds of dudes out there. But that's why we like being called upon. I personally think it's pretty cool too. I don't know. I kind of dig it. All right. So for those peeps out there who want to learn Korean, I would say don't just learn the formal language or the informal language. Learn a little bit of both. I know it's like confusing and it's like difficult and it's like so confusing and whatnot, but if you learn the formal and the informal, we're not talking about like really hard vocabulary words here, like really elaborate, really like I'm not asking you to memorize SAT words in Korean, something like that. But what I do give, a tip I would like to definitely give is for people who are trying to learn Korean, it's super fucking impressive if you know how to go from formal to informal. It's like really impressive. So like, if you're having a basic conversation with, in elementary conversation, like, hey, where are you from? Oh, do you like Korea? Like things like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about like, we're not talking about world politics here, okay? So, no rocket science, okay? We're talking about like normal, very elementary, basic stuff. If you meet someone for the first time and you're able to hold the conversation formally in the beginning, be like, oh, 안녕하세요, which means hi, like, 뭐 좋아해요? It means like, what do you want to eat? 뭐 음식은 뭐 좋아해요? And then you guys get comfortable enough where you're like, you then slip in, hold on a second. Oh, my bad about that. Yeah, you slip in like a little Korean word, like you ask like, hey, do you like to, can I talk to you in informal way? Then they would actually like, if you can transition from the formal to informal, that's like super impressive. You literally ask like, you can ask like, can I talk to you informally now? Is that okay for you? If you get comfortable enough, that's like super impressive. Yeah, and this is a very interesting question. I don't know who asked this, but I forgot. Do gay people in Korea usually come out? Meaning come out of the closets, meaning they, they tell people that they're gay. I would say that 90% of people don't come out of their closets, especially with their parents or family members. They might come out to close friends, but it's fucking sucks in Korea, man. Yeah, you can't. You shouldn't. Like, not now. Not in this stage of Korea yet. It's still homosexuality and things like that. It's still very, very much in the dark. So, no, most people still don't. I don't know a lot of gay people in Korea, so I can't really tell you that. But I know of people who know gay people in Korea, so they do tell me that. But yeah, all is interesting. I think, yeah, I think that's about it. Yo, all right. So today it was a pretty short segment. Did this for the first time. Literally a short FAQ session, questions and answers. So if y'all want this to happen again, or if you want to try this again with Brian, or if you want to do something similar, please shoot some ideas. We're here for you. So yeah, we're more than happy to do experiment with different things. Next week we're gonna have an actual he's gonna be an ex Navy SEAL, Korean Navy SEAL. So we're gonna have him on our show. The week after that or so, we're gonna have a guy from South Africa, but he's actually he used to work in a space station, so he knows a lot about astronomy, about South African astrophysics, and he knows a lot about like the South African space station and shit. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. So next week we're gonna have it's gonna be back to normal. Sorry about the audio about last week, and we'll continue to pump up some good shit. So please let me know of any suggestions, any ideas, any tips, etc., etc. We'll get on that ASAP. We're gonna try to start our YouTube channel, which is different from STBeef. We're gonna try to get that done ASAP. That's about Korean culture. It's about we're gonna do like food reviews. We're gonna do some different things. So just be prepared for that. And yeah, we love y'all for the support. You know where to find us: iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher. So these are some good things. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook. Please tune in and show us some love. We're trying to pump up some better content for you guys. So we love you guys so much, and thank you for the support and encouragement, and we appreciate it. That's all I gotta say. Peace, guys.